And there we are. It's Friday, man, the end of the week. I see we've got the chat room rocking. Everyone's talking about GMC and AME, and I don't blame you. Good morning, everyone. We are on a tear in this ongoing saga of Reddit versus Wall Street. And today, Reddit is winning. The regular people are winning, guys. While the rest of the world is, while the rest of the country is arguing over whether you should wear blue underwear or red underwear, because if you wear red underwear, you're the devil. And if you wear blue underwear, you're the devil. We're watching history being made in the underground. And the funny thing about the blue versus red battle is all these years, and you know, we have a different people in power all the time. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. And nothing ever changes. And that's all you need to know about it. So what's happening, man? Monster cheers to everyone across the world, across the country, across the caffeine hemisphere. I'm through my coffee already today, so we're on to Monster energy drinks. And it's Friday, man. You made it through the week. It's been a crazy day so far today. I woke up about 6, market opened about 6:30, and I was holding a position in those two stocks, GME and AMC. And I was in deep. I was in pretty deep where it was uncomfortable. And I got in pretty deep when it was skyrocketing a few days ago or whenever that was, when GME was like 400. I was buying and selling dips. I have some shares that I'm just holding forever, and then I have some that I was buying dips, and I got caught with some. And the cost basis was very high, over 300. And the price dipped and fell and went crazy. There was some sort of a short ladder attack that happened. And the price went from 350 to like 150 in a matter of minutes. So I got caught holding some shares. But I continued to buy and brought the cost basis down. And just this morning, I was able to get out of it with a profit, small profit. But it went from being a very dangerous position to being completely out of it with profit. And so I feel good this morning. I feel good. Thank you, Buddha, Allah, God, Jesus, Charles Manson, and whoever else is listening. Thank you for doing it again. Let's check the chat room. August says, I just bought a coffee cheers mug. I saw an order go through. And I put up some MCF links because I realized I never do that. Some of the other streamers I watch, they have like reference links pinned to the top of the chat. So instead of me saying you can get the mug at this address and you can listen to my music at this address and Mad Society's at this address, it's all just pinned to the top of the thing. But what's up, guys? Nelson, Liam, Math, Ahmed, August, Gene, Sacred Beats, everybody's here. What's up, you guys? Give the video a like, get the energy started for the day. 1 like equals 1 coffee cheers. 1 like equals 1 coffee cheers. 1 comment equals 1 monster cheers. So if you're watching the replay or the live stream, those are the rules. 1 like is a coffee cheers. 1 comment is a monster cheers. We'll see who wins. August says there's only 2 days left on the mugs. Now this is the experiment with these mugs. I haven't used Teespring in years. And they were previously shutting the listing down every 3 days because that's when the print cycle is. So if you order it and 3 days later it ships to keep from them having like long delay times. But it was ending the sales. So what's up, Liz? So the experiment this right now is, will it stay up longer than 3 days? And I think it will. And I think the game is it will take all the orders from the last 3 days, print them, ship them, but it will stay open, and every 3 days it'll ship. So we'll see. I've gotten multiple pictures on Instagram. I got 2 yesterday, one the day before yesterday, one yesterday. I believe it was Sacred Beats and Bolo sent me pictures of their coffee mugs in their homes with like their computer screens and cool lights and stuff. It looked really cool. It's hilarious, man. And in that way, you know, we are together. Even though we are separated, some of us, by millions of miles, thousands of miles, hundreds of thousands of miles. But yeah, man, so it's an easy Friday. I have some campaigns running. I have some stock trades. I have a few trailing stops running. Workouts finished. Fed the birds and squirrels. Playing the guitar. Last night and yesterday I worked on some finishing guitar touches to a song. Getting pretty interesting. Starting to get some strong old Rolling Stones vibes. Keith Richards slipped in last night and played a little guitar for me from somewhere. I don't know where I picked that up, but thanks, Dad. Kim says, another day, another ban from Facebook. My God, I don't miss those days. That was one of the most traumatic experiences of my advertising life. When you would have a big, great campaign running on Facebook, just day after day after day, doing great. And then one day, inevitably, you would log in and you would see that red message of death. Your account has been suspended due to suspicious activity. It's like, what? And you can't contact anyone. You can't talk to anyone. And you just suck it up. The only upside of that was I had a few friends that they owed payments to Facebook, large, substantial, like multiple 5-figure outstanding balance, and they banned the account. So the affiliates canceled the credit card in retaliation. And so they were never able to charge them for the thing. So you lost the account, but you didn't have to pay your bill. Although I never heard the long story of that where they possibly got a letter in the mail or something, or a collection agency. Sacred Beach says, I don't think Facebook likes affiliates. Is it worth it? I mean, to do Facebook? I don't do Facebook anymore. It's not worth it for me. Because you can get an account going and you can be doing well, maybe. And then as soon as you figure out the campaign, they shut you down and close you and ban you, and there's no way to get back. Now, math is saying you can dispute the decisions, and I got my account banned 3 and 4 times and got it back each time. That's rare. Math, were you running an affiliate account, or were you selling your own products? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how grimy was it? 10 being the grimiest. Because my guess would be, if you're doing the right thing, and they incorrectly ban your account, you can probably get it back. But yeah, it's like anything else. You figure it out as you go. Pick a place, stick there for a while, and become an expert at it. I switched to native many years ago, and it's been a smoother ride for me personally. Okay, so Math was doing everything clean, totally white hat. That's why he got his account back. So if you're trying to sell BS on Facebook, you're going to get banned and you won't get your account back. But if you're doing a very clean white hat campaign, they'll treat you like a person who's an advertiser. For newbies, is native better? There's really no answer to that. I prefer native personally because I got sick of being banned and not having any way to talk to anyone. So I've been on native for years now, and I know my reps very well. When I have a problem, I email them or I call them and they fix it for me. I don't know anybody who can do that with Facebook. Facebook's targeting is better. But as far as what's newbie friendly, nothing is newbie friendly. I would say that Rev Content and places like that, content.ad, they're probably more friendly to affiliates than Facebook or Google or any of that stuff. But here's the thing. It's literally a choose your own adventure situation. Pick where you want to be, hang around, keep asking questions, then pick somewhere where you want to be. Give it a try and stay there. Your goal is to become an expert on that platform. And then once you choose your platform, you don't worry about any other platforms. It's fun. What's up, Jack? Got coffee mugs everywhere. But it's a beautiful day outside, man. It's cold in LA. I woke up this morning and it was 37 degrees. Which is insane. Which is really, really insane. But I just wanted to check in with you guys, see what's up, do a little, today's probably gonna be a quickie. I actually have a grocery delivery showing up at any time, really. So I wanted to start this, 10, 15 minutes early, so in case the doorbell rings and I've got to go, then I've got to go. Liam says it's global colding. Right, that'll be the new one. They'll call it global colding. Because it was global warming, and then everything started getting colder, so they changed it to climate change. And then as things if it continues getting colder, maybe it will be called global colding. I don't know, I can't keep up with what these morons talk about. Remember Al Gore said we were all gonna die like 15 years ago, the earth was gonna end? The most comforting, because, obviously global climate change is real, climates change. And I'm sure the things that we're doing have something to do with it. I mean, all of the crazy resource drilling and extraction that we do, it's got to cause some kind of change. But what was I going to say? Oh, Elon Musk was talking about it. And he said that there is no impending doom, because the great thing about the human race and the human species is we fix things. Usually we wait till the last minute, but he said, there is no climate change, we're all gonna die date. Like if we don't change, and they keep moving it. If we don't do something, and what was it Greta Thunberg said, if we have 7 years left or something on the planet, AOC, someone like that said that. And smart guy like Elon Musk, he just kind of laughed at that and said, don't worry. None of those predictions have ever come true. They never will. And humans, we will have to fix this climate change problem. We have to change the way we interact with the earth, or it will be destroyed. And it would be the dumbest thing we ever did. And he said, I have faith that humans will pull ourselves out of this. And it's already happening. I believe China's even making improvements. But why are we talking about climate change? I don't know anything about this stuff. I purposefully tune out of these topics because it's all complete horseshit 99% of the time. Total waste of your time. I like to deal with things that either make money, make music, or make creativity pour out of me. Or that make me happy, or that make other people happy. And these idiotic topics that no one has any answer to, that everyone fights about all the time, they're pointless. So we'll move on from that. Who started that? Who got me started talking about climate change? Oh, global cooling, global colding. I don't know. Scientists don't know. No one knows. Everyone's like the weatherman. Everyone's shouting about anything. Tomorrow it's going to freeze. Tomorrow all hell's going to break loose. Rainstorms, floods. And then the next day comes and it's sunny. They're like, we knew it was going to be sunny today, but big storms coming in the future. And then when a big storm finally does come, they go, see, we predicted this. It's like, yeah, but you've been predicting it every day all year. You were wrong 364 times and right once. What do they say? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You guys are a fun crowd, a fun crowd, a fun crowd. Let's see what you're talking about. It's Friday, I don't even care. Do you get your groceries from Instacart? Yes, man, I've been split testing Instacart delivery. Actually, the groceries are coming from Walmart versus Amazon Fresh, or Whole Foods. And right now, Amazon Fresh does not have what I want, always. They're always out of what I want. Because I eat mostly meat, and I eat mostly ground beef. I don't like steaks as much as ground beef. So I like to order pounds and pounds of grass-fed or whatever they've got, ground beef. And Amazon Fresh is always out, always. You can get like 1 pound. And so I go to the Instacart and get on Walmart, and for less than the price of a pound of non-grass-fed beef on Amazon, let's say it's like $5.85, I can get a pound of grass-fed organic ground beef for like $4.89. So right now, Walmart's not as hip and cool as Amazon, but Amazon sucks compared to Walmart's online delivery via Instacart. And I may cancel my Amazon Fresh membership that I've had for a decade because they just don't have it. They don't have the supplies. Gene says, dude, Butcher Box is perfect for grass-fed beef. Yeah, I've tried a few of those things. I'll look into it. Right now, what I'm doing is pretty good. And on Butcher Box, I believe the price for grass-fed beef is like $10 a pound. At Walmart, it's $4.89. Walmart just has a way of beating everyone at everything. Billy Bell, this is an interesting topic. Says, I love listening to you, but I disagree. I believe in science. I believe in science too, 100%. But the thing with people that say they believe in science these days, okay, let's quickly just say this because this is one of those crazy controversial topics. I think everyone I believe in science 100%. What I don't believe in is scientists because they're humans. And humans can be bribed, pressured, and they can lie, and they do all the time. The examples of this is I was a kid of the 70s and 80s, and in the 70s and 80s, the science said that there was a problem with Americans getting fat. Everyone was obese. And they hired a bunch of scientists to do a study. And I believe they came back with the answer that sugar was probably the problem. Well, the good old people in the sugar industry, someone needs to fact check me on this, I might be wrong. This is what I read. The people in the sugar industry came to the scientists and pressured them to find another reason why Americans were getting fat. Because all the data, scientific data, pointed to sugar. And they bribed the scientists. This is all, I believe it's all proven fact admitted. They paid them $5,000 apiece to redo the study and come up with the conclusion that fat was the problem. And that's why when I was a kid, everything that we ate was fat-free and filled with sugar. Because what happens when you take the fat out of food? It loses its taste. So to fix that problem, you add sugar to it. So they paid the scientists. I believe in science. The science showed that sugar was the problem. But I don't believe in scientific results given to us by man, because we are bribable. And now, 40 years later, it's finally becoming pretty understood that they lied to us in exchange for money and for profits. And millions of Americans are obese now because of it, have diabetes, and have died from it. Millions. Because the science lied. So I believe in science 1,000%. I don't believe in humans. Especially now, because a Republican scientist could come up with whatever answer you want that fits a Republican narrative, and a Democrat scientist can come up with whatever answer you want that fits their narrative. So the results you get are complete horseshit, in my opinion, and I don't know anything. Yeah, Claudius brought up a good one. Remember when the science was that smoking was healthy? Remember that? And that light cigarette, all doctors that smoked these cigarettes? Remember when they lied about the food pyramid? In fact, according to like the science that's going on now, they say that if you want to actually be healthy, you take the food pyramid that we all grew up with, turn it upside down. Because what I read was the food pyramid was literally paid placement. Whoever paid the most to get to the top or to be the base of it got that position. You could buy it. And so, again, possibly millions of Americans got heavy, got diabetes, and died because of bullshit science. Results. Science is real, obviously. It's like, you know, but the people that give it to us are heavily manipulated. And I don't trust any of them. And that's the way I've lived my life for a long time. I don't take anything without questioning it. You guys are popping off some of this funny stuff. Remember when smoking was healthy? It just depends on who's financing the scientific research. It's very true. Scientific research, the results that they publish are normally horseshit. And I think scientists would agree. Smoking was recommended to pregnant women. True. Eggs and bacon. Remember when that was bad? And now they're talking about how you could eat. I eat eggs and bacon every single day, and my body stays lean and completely. I can't even put on fat when I eat eggs and bacon. Egg yolks. Yeah, it turns out fat is good. So my opinion really isn't controversial at all. I don't feel like. I believe in science 100%. But when a human scientist gets on TV and they're working for a corporation or a political party or something like that, the things that they say aren't science. They're complete horseshit. Yeah, they told us egg yolks would kill us. If you ate too many eggs, you'd die of cholesterol poisoning and all this. Another one I've been reading about lately is salt. They said, you know, salt gives you hypertension and heart attacks and all this stuff. Complete horseshit. The problem is right now there's kind of a political divide around science. I trust the science. So I read a quote on Twitter the other day. It said, saying right now in 2021, saying I trust the science means that you are unable to think critically for yourself. So you just blindly believe what someone on TV says is science. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, I don't know where I stand on the whole thing. I'm no political, no scientist, that's for sure. How did we get to talking about science on here? I don't have any idea. But the kind of people I like hanging out with are the people who are understanding of other people's opinions. So if you say you trust the science, that's awesome. I trust science, but I don't trust the science a lot of times because I don't trust humans, especially the ones on TV in positions of power. But enough about that. Let's keep moving with the day, kids. Liam says sea salt is what you want. Yeah, I have a bunch of sea salt. I put sea salt on everything that I have. Everything that I eat is covered in salt. Fat. Salt, fat, butter, bacon grease. All the things they told you would kill you are literally the components that you need to live a healthy life. What's up, Juan Anselmo? Hey, Anselmo, are you related to Phil? What are you drinking? I'm drinking a Monster Rain energy drink. It's called Razzleberry. Yeah, man, let's check in on this crazy situation that's going on the stock market. Okay, it's kind of all flatlined. GME's at 283, AMC's at 11. I'm up on the day big time because I was able to get out of that position, so that's all good. And I just clicked the button and I made a sale, so it's all good. I dig hanging out with you guys in the morning. 30 minutes, an hour. It's pretty cool. What's up, Mark? Posted coffee cups, music notes, a computer screen, and a smiley face with his tongue stuck out. And that pretty much sums it up, man. Liam says, I want to start my own little homestead farm someday, the simple life. Yeah, I was actually on YouTube. I searched simple life, simple living. Well, I searched the simple life in the beginning and it was Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. So I changed to simple living and watched about 8 or 10 videos of people who were just living off of the land. They had regenerative farms that they lived on, and they had no money in their lives, none. They bartered, they had some things from their previous life, and then they moved out to this organic regenerative farm that was owned by their family, I guess. They took it over. And they had the belongings that they had. They took them out there, and there's no running water. I don't think there was electricity either, and they built their own homes. And they lived off of their garden, their farm, the food that they could grow. And then they bartered and traded with the nearby farms for things that they couldn't grow, like rice and tempeh and other things. And they just raised animals, lived outside, you know, had cabins that they built, and it just looked beautiful, man. That's my dream too. I'd like to end up on a farm of some sort with a fence around it and a gate, and you know, growing a lot of my own food. And the gate will remain closed unless you're someone who is really awesome and we get along great, and create like your own little community. Are you a fan of Japanese music? I'm a fan of Japanese everything. I love Japanese culture, always have. It's so beautiful, the thing, like the calligraphy and the designs and the stories and the lifestyle. They seem to have it figured out. Seems like in Japan people live longer as well. And what I love about Japan, I think it's Japan, I've seen videos where they show men 90 years old, 93 years old, and they're riding a bicycle everywhere that they go. It's amazing, you know, with a sack of whatever they've harvested that day, and they're 90 years old. Oh my goodness, guys, we are just a few people away from breaking a record. We're talking about science, we're talking about GME and AMC, we're talking about climate change and weather. I don't even know what we're talking about. But I know this, we're all on the same team, and it's team open-minded. I think one of the problems with the world right now, thanks to Twitter and Facebook and all this, is people feel like if you disagree on anything, that you disagree on everything. And the other part is if you don't believe X, you are a Y, right? If you disagree with me, you are a blank. It's not how life works. Some of my best friends, some of my favorite people in the world I disagree with on some things. And let's get off into that. Let's talk about it, because I think that's what makes a diverse group of friends. So here's the question. If you're in a room, if your friend circle, everyone is different colors, but they all think exactly the same thing, is that a diverse group of friends? Or if you have a group of friends that all think differently, is that a diverse group of friends? What do you guys think? Because diversity of thought is one of my favorite things. And look, from my childhood, my group of friends has looked like the rainbow connection, man. Every color, every sexual preference, every gender, every whatever from the get-go. I'm extraordinarily open-minded, non-judgmental. I don't even judge the people who will hate me because maybe we disagree on something. I feel bad for them. And I see it as a mental problem. You know, it's like, if you think this, I'll no longer talk to you. I think that's a mental problem. Because if somebody tells me something that I disagree with, that I don't like, I want to ask them questions. Oh man, one of my favorite things that I've ever done, one of my favorite realizations, probably post 40. Yeah, probably right around the age of 40, I started looking into things that I hate. My whole life, I told myself I hated certain things, like classical music. For some reason, it grates on me when I hear violins, when it gets aggressive, and there's like very aggressive classical music. So I just wrote off classical music completely. And then as an adult, I said, I hate this so much, let me actually just sit down, listen to it. And I got stoned, put on my headphones and listened to, I think it was Beethoven. And I had an out-of-body experience listening to the music. I could see it, I could feel colors coming from it. It was overwhelmingly beautiful, and I got tears in my eyes. So I started listening to more classical music. And what I found out was, I really love classical music. And my whole life, I've told myself I just hate it. Oh, that's terrible, I hate that stuff. I did the same thing with classic rock. My whole life I said, screw classic rock, that's my dad's music. I'm living in this day and age, you know, I'm listening to Motley Crue and Kiss. And then it turned into, Nirvana and Soundgarden and all this. And I always told myself I hated classic rock. So I went back and I started with Syd Barrett, and I read a book about Syd Barrett, the original guy that led Pink Floyd. And I started listening to old Pink Floyd, and then I listened to all of their albums, and then I read every book and watched every documentary, and all of a sudden I loved Pink Floyd. They're one of my favorite bands of all time now. Then I did the same thing with Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, the Rolling Stones, not the Beatles yet, Leonard Skinner, Creedence Clearwater Revival, all of these bands that my dad wanted me to listen to back in the day. I went back and studied them. And this went on for years. It's still going on. And what I found was I love classic rock. I love those bands now more than even my favorite bands from my own generation. So to me, it's an interesting kind of thought experiment. Take something that I hate. What do I hate? What do I just hate? And then go do it. Like opera. I hate opera. If I hear an operatic singer start singing, I have to turn the channel, turn the station, turn it off. So in my mind, what that means is I need to go to an opera and start going to operas and really find out, and I'll probably end up loving them. Another example was Broadway shows. I've always said I hate musicals. Like even when I watch The Simpsons or something, if they start singing on the show, I turn it off. I can't take it. Right when the music starts and the song starts, I have to turn it off, fast forward it or something. And I went to New York one year with a bunch of my friends from the affiliate world. We went to an affiliate summit east in New York. And my friend told me, he said, we're going to go see a Broadway musical tonight. I said, no thanks, I'll meet you after. And he goes, come on, man. I said, I don't want to go. He said, well, I think he had already bought me a ticket. I said, well, I guess I'll go, but I don't want to go. And we went and saw the play, the musical Wicked, on Broadway in New York. The moment the show started, I had tears coming out of my eyes. The music was so amazing. I looked at him and was like, oh my God. And I think the reason why I hated those things, all of those things, classical music, musicals, classic rock, it could be anything. Horseback riding, I tell myself I don't like that, so I basically need to go horseback riding for a long time. I need to go do it. I'll probably love it and become a cowboy and have a horse ranch one day. So for me, it's like whatever that thing is in my head that I just default say I hate blank, or I don't like blank. I go and do that thing, like really immerse myself in that thing and try to understand it. And what I end up coming out with was, I really like this thing. I don't think I've gone into anything yet and come out of it hating it more, you know? So it's kind of a risk-free adventure if you want to do it. I think you could do that with people too. I think you want to know how to get the most hardcore liberal and the most hardcore conservative to be friends? Put them in a room together, alone, for maybe 2 days. And I would assume that the first day would be very hard. They wouldn't talk to each other, everything would be an argument. But then at some point they'd find something they could agree on, and then they'd share their life stories and realize, oh wait, we're both similar. We're the same. We just have a few different check boxes that we've checked in our minds that are totally, we can either uncheck them or we can just agree to disagree, and you seem like a really nice person. But on Twitter, you don't get to have that personal connection. On Facebook, you don't get to have that personal connection. So it's like literally, if you say this word, you're my enemy, and we're going to war, and I'm going to cancel you, and I'm going to try to get you fired from your job, and all of this stuff. You know, both sides. When if you just gave them a day, even just an afternoon, go to lunch, sit down and talk, all of that would go away. They'd find out they both were really into knitting or crocheting, or they both really like Neil Young. And go, I grew up and I went to this school. You went to that school? My cousin went to that school. And by the end of it, they'd be friends. That's the good thing about the real world and the bad thing about the digital world now. And guys, we are like 2 people away from breaking a record. I don't know what it is. Click like on the video if you're watching, and let's see if we can get, I think we need 2 or 3 more people to break a record. This is a wild episode. I don't know what we're saying. So if someone watches the replay and they're angry at me right now, I don't even know what I said. I don't have any like cemented beliefs or things that are like a dead end stop for me with people. And my opinions change all the time as information comes in. I'm literally playing the guitar and looking out the window and talking. Oh, we need a few more people to get a record, and it's almost time to go. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Billy Bell says, that was a beautiful story about classical music. Yeah, that was a really good example. You just said you're about to convert to Islam, my dude. Hey. I believe in everything. When I say a prayer if I say the word God, in my mind it's Buddha, Allah, like I said, Charles Manson, Superman, Tom and Jerry, Santa Claus, Thor, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I believe in all of it. And I think everybody has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. None of my business, really. I don't learn much from people who think the same as me. I learn more from those who disagree. Yeah, that's the thing. Like a healthy conversation between 2 people who disagree is how you learn. Like, here's a blog post I've thought of writing called How to Be Dumb, or How to Be Wrong. Remove anyone from your life who you disagree with. That's how you be dumb and how to be wrong. Guaranteed. On Twitter or Facebook and social media, only follow news organizations and people who agree with you. That's how you be dumb and how you be wrong. Almost always. The way to be smart is to seek out people you disagree with and ask them questions. Try to learn from them. Because you might, and they can do the same with you. You each might find out that you're wrong or that you agree with them. But you would never know that if you're just talking to people who say, it's green, it's green, it's only green, it's only green. And anyone who comes in and says, yellow's the color I like, and you go, no, only green. If you do that, you're going to believe that green is the only color. That's all there is. When there's a whole multitude, a rainbow of colors out there, but you're in your little green group. Green, 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 green. We are the green tribe. We are the green tribe. We are the best. Then you got these people. I am the yellow tribe. We are the yellow colors. We like yellow the best. Both wrong, both dumb, and you'll get dumber. There are thousands of colors, thousands, millions of ideas. The information changes on a dime all day. So if you want to be dumb, surround yourself with people who agree with you on everything you think. If you want to be wrong, do that same thing. It's called an echo chamber, confirmation bias. It's a mental problem. And I would say, 93% of the population is currently suffering from it. But I do believe it will calm down, and we're going to start the calm down right now with a good old song. Just kidding. All right, guys, it's time to go. I don't even know what we talked about today. Japanese diets, there's an interesting topic. Oh, I like this one too. All right, let's read some comments and then we got to go. Are you a fan of Japanese music? Yes. Open-minded coffee cheers. What's up, Craig? Yeah, you got to keep an open mind. When you close your mind, it's closed. It stops learning and it stops working. Keep it open. You can learn from people you disagree with. Ask them questions. Japanese food intake is a ton of lean seafood. You hardly see extra large sized people on the streets. Yeah, that's true. But thanks to the good old American scientists, we get fatter every year, more obese, more diabetes. And actually, they said with COVID, one of the top bullet points that causes death was obesity. So, according to science, you'd be better off not wearing a mask and losing 30 pounds. You'd probably be safer than being super heavy and wearing a mask if you would take the mask off and lose the weight. But you know, doctors never talk about that. I don't trust doctors either. I trust medicine. I believe in the things that medicine, that it helps. But I believe, look, doctors killed millions of people over the years, prescribing opiates for money, getting paid bonuses. Killed millions of people. And we totally got away with it. When they could have been prescribing, what do you eat? Eat healthier food. Lose some weight. They don't talk about that. They just give you a pill. What's up, Stefan? Says coffee cheers. Where are we at? Bitcoin is blowing up. Okay. Harsh, what's up, Harsh? He says, I'm late. Good morning. I was stuck in traffic. That's all good. What's up, Aaron? We've got a friend from my past. One of my old pals' brothers is in here right now. Good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. Sacred Beach says, hashtag morning coffee cup. Christopher Lowe says, alien, and wants to know green's an alien color. Why? Yeah, if you're in the green party, that's pro-alien. I'm pro-alien, and if you're not pro-alien, I'm gonna burn your house down. And I'll no longer talk to you because you're pro-alien. I'm anti-alien. It's so funny when you... I look at the world these days. I've always felt out of place. And for a long time, I thought it meant that I was a weirdo. But what I truly feel like is it means that if you feel that way, you're a philosopher. Like you're probably born to observe and not to participate. And once I accepted that, I was reading Nietzsche, or however you say it, Nietzsche. And I was reading his book, and some of his thoughts seemed so similar to mine that I was blown away. And I realized, okay, that's when it hit me. Maybe I'm not a weirdo. Maybe I'm a philosopher. Not that I'm a philosopher, but that's the kind of the way that I look at things. I don't participate, like especially with politics. I'm completely neutral. And so I get to call out hypocrisy whenever I see it. And the hypocrisy from both sides is insane. If you belong to either side, you're in the cult. So if you're like, I believe the science and I don't believe the science, those are two cults, right? If you don't believe the science, I won't hang out with you. Well, if you say you believe the science, you're an idiot. These are two cults. And I'm here observing both of them going, well, obviously science is real, right? But it can be misinterpreted for profit or for gain or through pressure, which is a very middle of the road, very non-hysterical viewpoint to have. But if you're in this cult of I believe in science, and anyone who disagrees with me is the enemy, then by me saying I don't believe all of the scientific results that we get, you'll go crazy. You'll want to take me down. Or if you're in this side where you don't believe any science, and I say I believe in science, I don't believe in all the results, they go, well, you're an idiot. Science is fake. So for the weirdos observing, it's kind of like, well, you guys are both idiots. You guys are both crazy. Not idiots, not crazy, that's not the right word. You're in a cult. And there are food cults, like people who are vegan think that people who eat meat are the devil, and people who eat meat think that vegans are idiots. When in the middle, you can see it very clearly. It's like, well, for some people need to eat meat. That's how that works better for their body, and some people thrive on vegetables. And that's okay. But to say that because you eat meat, you're a murderer is hilarious. Because, like, let's just continue the thought. I believe that in the vegetable farming industry, more animals are killed than in every slaughterhouse in the world annually. We're talking about these big chopping, whatever they are, tractors that go through the fields and just mulch up all the vegetables and chop everything down. They said buzzards follow those tractors, those things. And because they're eating all of the billions of animals that they leave behind that are dead. These are everything from spiders, snakes, to rabbits, squirrels. Everything is chopped to pieces, insects, worms. And if you want to talk about saving lives, there's probably more lives lost, individual lives, living things lost through vegetable farming than slaughterhouses. I don't know, but I would imagine if you count every living creature spider, snake, bug, fly. That would, if that's true, that would mean being a vegan makes you responsible and part of more loss of life than a hunter who hunts twice a year for his family. And it's just weird thoughts like that. Like they're non-controversial, but if you're dug into either cult, you'll lose your mind. Because you've got your bullet points on this side, I'm a vegan and I believe that, and you're over here, you're on the carnivore thing and you're a hunter and you don't care about anything. But in the middle, it's kind of like, either way you want to go, guys, life feeds on life. And here's another thought. I like to call these acid thoughts, because if you've never taken acid, you probably never had a thought like this. But if vegetables bled red blood and could scream when they were picked, what would vegans do? Because to imagine that those things aren't alive and that they aren't communicating and they don't feel is insanity. It's silliness. My personal belief, and again, I'm not an expert. I don't know. I don't know anything. I just think sometimes, and I like to be a free thinker. But I would say eating a bell pepper takes a life from the bell pepper. That bell pepper was alive and had friends around it that it communicated with. I saw a video of a guy who took 2 plants, like maybe even 2 potatoes, I can't remember what it was, and he hooked up some electrical things to them. And as soon as he could put them near each other, they started communicating. And he had set up an audio interface, so when they sent biometric data back and forth, you could hear music. And he put them near each other, and as soon as they touched, they started sending data to each other and talking. They were having a conversation. These were plants. And he separated them, and it stopped. So they weren't able to communicate. There was a very light amount of communication still able to happen. They put them back, and the music picked up again. So I would say, well, this is one of my acid thoughts. Eating a carrot is the same as eating a rabbit. The only difference is rabbits bleed red, which looks like our blood, and they can scream when they die. Whereas a carrot doesn't bleed red and can't scream. So we kind of pretend that it's not alive. There is today's non-factual rant of the day. Again, these are acid thoughts. I'm not dug into any of them. Just talking. This may be the Hall of Fame. What episode number are we on? 42? So add a 0 to that and it's 420. Let's just call this the 420 episode of strangeness. And let's get out of here. You guys, it's been a really fun hour. This was insane. GME is dropping. AMC is dropping, so buy the dip, guys. Don't listen to me, though. Again, I'm a silly person who's taken a lot of hallucinogenic drugs and seen a lot of things that regular people just don't see. And had a lot of thoughts that regular people who have non-experimental lifestyles just don't have. But I would just say this. This is one thing, a hill I will die on. Remain open-minded. Remain understanding and curious about people you disagree with. And instead of writing them off from your life or battling them out on social media and trying to get them fired from their job, talk to them. They might have something to teach you. That's how you be smart. That's how you bees getting smart. And on that note, it's time to go. Let's wrap it up. And Billy Bell, thanks for being really understanding. Like, this is a great example. You started off by kind of getting, I don't know if you were offended, but you wanted to bring it up that you believed in science. And what were we talking about? Climate change. And I explained my point. And I think at this point, we probably, instead of you leaving and blocking the channel, or me removing you from the chat and going, you know what, that's it, and finding you on Twitter and we get into a huge argument, we just keep talking about it. And it would be even better if we were in person. And we figured it out, and it's no big deal. In fact, it started delightful little conversation here that was totally unplanned. We're going to have to change the tagline for the channel to music, marketing madness, and all kinds of strange stuff that the chat room and myself come up with. You never heard of fruitarians who eat only falling fruits? Now that makes sense. If the fruit fell, then it's on its way out anyway. That's pretty efficient, really. Again, a disclaimer, if you're watching this live or in the future, I'm not dug in on anything that I've said today. But I am dug in on the thought of being allowed to have an open mind and just think and say whatever you want. Especially for the people who you disagree with. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We got very close to beating a record today. We're knocking on the door. I think next week might be the week that we beat the record. It's a very modest record. So everybody have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chatting in the chat. This is really fun. Just kind of an open-ended conversation. And hopefully nothing we said today gets us kicked off of YouTube or canceled on Twitter or whatever. But really, who cares? Because we're living in the greatest time there's ever been to be alive. And tomorrow will be even a better day to be alive. Things just get better and better. Yeah, there are dark times and pandemics and stock market crashes and divorces and breakups and injuries and things like that. But things only get better. And if you want to test that theory, find someone who was alive 200 years ago. Teleport them into modern society and ask them, is this better than where you were 200 years ago? And they're going to go, oh my God, you guys are living in a fantasy world. Find someone from like 500 years ago. Sit them down and tell them they can get food by pushing a button on this electronic device. They don't have to go out and kill a deer or a moose. You just push a button and moose meat shows up at your door. Frozen, prepared, ready to eat. It's the little things, man. Tell them that instead of having to walk 30 miles to the next village to find out what's going on there, you can get on Twitter, open it up, and in 5 minutes scan everything that's happening in the world. And your loved one that lives far, far, far away, you can pick up this other strange thing and call them or send them a message instantly. That's why when people complain about things happening right now, and there are bad things happening right now, I'm not saying there aren't. There are some terrible things happening at all times throughout history. But right now, it's probably the best time to be alive there's ever been. And on that note, we're going to cheers out. 59 minutes and we're done. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I had a blast. I hope you did too. A bunch of interesting topics today. I love it. Cool. Thanks for the shout out. Keep playing music. We all need it to grow. You better believe it, Aaron. Power to the weirdos from Lenny. People feel bad when dolphins get caught in a tuna net. What about the tuna? I don't understand, but I'm sure the tuna aren't very happy. Everyone's posting see you in the future. Thanks for sticking around, Liz. That's two people from my past that I was pretty tight with back in the day. Aaron's from the 80s. Liz is from the 90s. And saw some crazy things. Everybody have a great weekend. That's right, Chris. Thanks for reminding me. Everybody have a great weekend. If you want to like the video, subscribe, comment, whatever you're supposed to say on the way out, the YouTube game. And everybody have a fantastic day. One last cheers, and I'll see you next week. You guys stay cool, and I will see you in the future. Thanks, everybody. See you around.